Bartender, one please. Women, huh? I tell you what, buddy. I just recently got into an argument with my girlfriend. Turns out she's just a statue that I ended up making out of butter and charm. I even added a little extra charge to mimic all the lady business, but now all I need is to find a way.
I don't even know what to say right now.
I couldn't even finish my joke.
My thing is, I didn't expect you to start out like that. What the?
I couldn't even finish the joke.
Like, I'm sitting here opening my door, like trying to let my cat out, and then you just start going off, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, he's going off. Go, oh my God, go.
Oh my God. I'm not even gonna bother trying to continue that joke. That was just I don't know.
Well, you would have done better than what I would have done. I would have probably just been the simple, oh, hey, hello guys, how's it going? Welcome back. No, you just go off just spewing away.
I mean, I'm glad that I could change my voice a little. I mean, let's see. There was that voice, and then hold on. Let me try. I'm gonna try something. Hold up. Hey, what's going on? Name's Toby.
Stop.
What?
Stop. Just stop. Stop before it's too late.
So you want me to stop?
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Why do you gotta say it like that, dude? Like, dude.
Hey, howdy ho. And okay. I think I am gonna stop right there because if I go I feel like I'm about to go way too far.
I feel like that's how I sound like whenever I say howdy. Howdy, y'all. How's it going?
For a moment there, I thought you never hit puberty until just now.
Hey, you know what?
We're literally just straight up roasting each other at this point.
Yeah, exactly. This is how the podcast goes now. For just roast fest. That's it.
Roast Fest 2019.
Roast fest.
That sounds like an event that somebody should probably. On second thought, that already exists. It's called the Player Haters Ball.
Bro, that actually, I just got an idea.
What?
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you. You know what? I'm gonna write this down too, actually, just so I don't forget. But either way, welcome everybody. How's it going? How you doing? We're back after 2 weeks. We are finally back.
Yeah, we had a bit of a busy schedule, but thankfully we did clear up enough time to once again bring you just the vibes. I, of course, am Miguel Perez, aka Enygma, and
Laine is back. Hello.
I was gonna make a joke about traffic when you did that, when you introduced yourself.
Oh my, dude, I'm so sick and tired of people using that.
Shit. No, no offense, but it's way too easy, dude. It's too easy. I'm sorry.
It is too easy, unfortunately. And I'm just sitting there like, I've heard all these jokes. I've heard every single one. Can you guys just think of unique shit?
Oh, I can think of unique shit, but the only thing that I gotta mention is not a single one of those jokes is safe for work or safe for life.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Anyways,
man.
Welcome in. Our topic of the day. We're going back to wrestling because we never actually got to finish it on that.
Yeah, that was something that we really left like high and dry.
Unfortunately, because we just got sidetracked on a bunch of other shit.
Well, yeah, we were reminiscing, going through down memory lane.
Indeed.
Wait,
no pun intended. No pun intended.
No pun intended. I just realized that I just made a joke.
I heard that and I was just like, oh.
No,
all right then.
No pun intended.
Too funny.
Oh my God. So, I feel like we were going off about who our favorite wrestlers were, but this time we're gonna do something a little bit on that side. So specifically, we're gonna go over the three wrestlers that really made a big impact in our lives, either by
Mm,
their how they performed inside of the ring, how they talked on the mic, and better yet, how well they're doing in currently as of late.
true that.
I feel like you should probably start off, so since this was your idea.
True. All right. Well, this is going to be a controversial one for sure. Because I know he's like a love hate type of guy because he's struggled with his own inner demons a lot, and it's been an on and off battle with that sort of thing. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy definitely was one wrestler at the top of my head that I absolutely enjoyed watching wrestling. Um, his personality was just fun and energetic. Uh, no pun intended. Enigmatic for sure. He's
Of
definitely one of
course.
those guys where I can't. Sorry.
I deserve it.
um,
I deserve it. Now we're even.
but he was definitely one of those guys where you never knew what he was going to do next. He always thought of something crazy, and just unnecessary. But he said, you know what? We're just going to roll with it. So
You
watching
always love to
him.
live to you stream.
hmm and just watching him, just not even like back in his tag team days in the 90s with his brother Matt, obviously, and then having his solo career shoot up once he got to the WWE Championship role. That was amazing. Unfortunately, very short-handed, but at the same time, super enjoyable. I love that little run that he had in 2008. I'm pretty sure it was. Um, and then past that point, but it just goes back to him struggling so much with just drugs or alcohol, that sort of thing. But he always never gave up. He always tried to get better every time. It's just there was always some sort of rut on the road where he couldn't figure it out, and he had to take some time to himself to really think about who he was again. So, Jeff Hardy for sure. Um,
Yeah, but one of the crazy things about Jeff, so well, it depends on the gear that he's wearing, but usually whenever he takes off his sleeves, you can see all of his tattoos. And there's actually a video about them
hmm,
on the internet on what they symbolize. Pretty much it's his way of growing, since when it comes to what those tattoos are, they're roots that are extending from his arm all the way to his back, and what they symbolize is essentially bringing life, just like a tree usually grows and it spreads its roots out in the soil. His veins, his skin, all of that is something that he himself needed a lot of help in order to try to not just get clean, but stay clean. And I myself have never once touched any substances at all. And there's a good reason for that, which we'll get to later. But uh I've seen a lot of people who've had that struggle, and unfortunately some of them n- couldn't they couldn't come back from that, which sucks. But uh I mean, there's no easy way to say it. It's what happened. It happened for a reason. So the only thing that we can learn from that is to just first things first, move on. As harsh as that is to say, the best thing that we can do is remember that they existed. And another thing that we can do for those who are currently going through something similar is to be there for them, because at the end of the day, um, what an addict really needs in order to recover is support from those who are close to him or her, and to just cheer them on, to guide them, because they really need a lot of support. And Jeff, he's getting he has really close friends and family. He himself is a father, so it's also a good thing that he has a family that he can come home to and, well, uh spend feel loved, spend some time to be loved as well.
That. Yeah, I mean, without Matt Hardy, especially without his brother, I think it would be a very different story. I don't think he would have been able to get over his issues. So, and which, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out. It's good to see Jeff Hardy back in AEW. He came back around a week ago, I want to say. But yeah, I'm just sitting here like, okay, cool, he's back. But hopefully, this is all we can hope for, is that he has learned and that he can stay strong. And if he needs to take time off again, then just do so. Don't go down that deep rabbit hole of just BS, because it ain't worth it. Also, gonna mention this because I must. About 2 or 3 years ago, I actually bought a painting that Jeff Hardy made himself. That's another thing that I love about Jeff Hardy's his his artistic vibes that he's got. I love it. But I bought a Jeff Hardy painting made from himself a couple years ago for a really good price. It was kind of insane at first. It was around like $1,200, which I was like, ooh, that's a lot of money for a painting. But I was able to actually dock it down quite a bit, almost like half off. But it's signed and everything, and I love it. It's one of the most prized possessions that I definitely have obtained in my life, and I shall fucking cherish it for the rest of my life, pretty much. But yeah, so I love it. Love it.
To this day, I'm
Okay.
still jealous that he has that painting. I feel like maybe I should. I'm gonna go next. So my favorite, or one of my favorites, who really did make an impact for me. I've already mentioned this before, but I figured I might as well mention it again in a bit of a quick summary. Is Rey Mysterio? Again, I
Mm,
myself am Mexican, so seeing somebody who was of that same ethnicity being able to perform at perhaps one of the biggest companies at the time was something that not only I found inspirational, but also motivational. It motivated me to try and do way more than even I knew I was physically capable of. Because Rey Mysterio, he's not a very tall individual. I'd say he's probably around my height. I'm 5'4", but when you see him and you see him go up against other wrestlers who are just bigger and stronger, and the dude makes such quick work with them. He's really fast. He's crazy athletic. He's got so much stamina that I don't even know if the dude is. I think the dude can easily win a marathon without breaking a sweat. But
easily.
seeing that, not to mention, he also ended up shining a light into the lucha libre style of wrestling, which is something that I also watched growing up. And well, I could go on and mention so many more of his achievements, but for the most part, he's he was definitely one of my childhood heroes growing up, especially watching the WWE at the time.
He's great, man. Well, and he's a future Hall of Famer for a reason. So you got to give him respect for that. But we all love Ray. I don't. I really have never met a single person that does not like Rey Mysterio, and if they don't, then You just don't know talent. You just don't know talent. That's it. Either that or just jealousy, pretty much.
I think it's because watching Rey Mysterio that I decided to start training in parkour as well. I mean, hell, I
Mhm.
can still do the moves that I used to back in when we were younger.
Right.
Speaking of
Love it.
which, I don't, even though I can, the only place where I can actually go to do them is the gym because I don't know if this was because of the surge of parkour that happened during our youth, but they modded or adjusted the designs of some of the buildings to the point where you can't even climb them anymore.
Mm, of course.
You know what? I might as well just do a bit of a pause and just mention something that happened to me. So I was trying to climb. I'm guessing this was a. I can't remember if this was a commercial building or not. But first things first, that was my fault because I really should have expected this from them. But as soon as I tried to go up and go for the ledge, immediately my hand slipped and I ended up falling back first, which
Oh, damn.
sucked. But and then I took a look at my hand. Uh and then I realized, holy crap, they put grip resistant paint or slip inducing paint. I can't remember the technical name, but
Hmm.
it's something that you put on a ledge so that no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to grab it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they got smart, and that thing is a pain to take off. You can't just use water and soap. You got to actually try to do so many. You got to do so much stuff just to get it. Excuse me, just to get it off.
Yeah, I believe it. Dang.
Oh well. But other than that, it's still pretty cool to just do them in the gym. At least there, you'll be a bit more safe.
True. True.
All right, moving on. Your number two.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's just
Dude.
a given. If you don't like Stone Cold Steve Austin, then what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? But
What?
man, Stone Cold Steve Austin is it's a hard take. It's a hard take, but in my opinion, he's definitely top five. He's one of the top five wrestlers of all time. Not only for his personality, his attitude, his wrestling was always just almost perfect, almost perfect. If it weren't for his unfortunate injury when he was facing, oh, remind me,
Owen
Miguel,
Hart.
Owen Hart. Thank you. That pile driver just really destroyed his career, unfortunately, and there was just no coming back. Which, I mean, granted, he had his one final match against The Rock at WrestleMania, and it was perfect. Can't ask for any better. But at the same time, I was like, dang man, this sucks. It hurts. It hurts to watch. But yeah, man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the best.
Dude,
One of the
Stone
best
Cold
for
was
sure.
definitely the best. Way up there. I don't even think he should be in the top five. He should be number one in that list. But
Hmm.
the thing with Stone Cold, and here's something that's really cool for those who know about him but don't know where he came from. So originally, he was I believe, protege for Ted DiBiase.
Uh huh.
And back in those days, he wasn't wrestling as Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was wrestling as Stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And what though? Okay, so going over with how he got that name, he did an interview with Larry King discussing how he got the name. But to summarize how he came up with the nickname, he was married to an English woman at the time,
Hmm.
and she gave him a cup of tea, and he was trying to come up with something clever, specifically of all involving ice, but
Mm.
none of those names ever clicked until his wife said, "It'll come with you eventually. Now drink your tea before it gets stone cold." And immediately he's like, "That's it. That's it. Stone cold."
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Never knew that.
Yeah. I mean, Stone Cold himself is he's pretty cool. Even after his departure from WWE, he ended up doing a few other things. I know he's got his own ranch, but he
Mm,
also made a career for himself in movies. I think
yeah.
I think the last time I've heard about him, first things first, he was on a recent episode of Sneaker Shopping for Conflict,
Mm, yeah.
and the dude himself, for starters, did not age a bit. He looks really good for his age.
For real. I agree.
And if anything, I feel like the dude, well, this could just be me wishing that he could come back and do like one more match at least. But at the very least, I feel like even if he doesn't wrestle again, they could probably like make a storyline with him about having a protege himself, like somebody who's rough, rough around the edges. Oh shit.
Mm,
Give me a moment. Sorry about that. Rough around the edges, but uh still lovable at the same time.
yeah, exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. I feel like now might be a good time for me to go forward my number two. And this right here is something that is somebody who, again, I really resonated with. Uh and more so now because of what happened to him and how he recovered. And I'll explain why in a bit. So my number two, his real name is Adam Copeland, but
Oh, Edge.
Edge, yes.
Mm,
Edge is his in-ring name. And the dude himself, when he made his debut, I obviously wasn't born at the time, but rewatching some of the stuff that he did when he first started out, it was creepy, it was terrifying, it was awesome. It was just like absolutely incredible. And then as time went on, he created another gimmick, specifically the rated R superstar gimmick, which is what everybody knows him for to this
mhm.
day. And the rated R championship, when it was introduced, I know that people, well, obviously they got a pretty negative reaction because, well, he was a villain at the time, but I saw the belt and I knew I had to have it. I think, well, I never got around to actually buying a replica, but I did end up getting a toy championship belt of the WWE championship,
I
and
do remember that.
I printed out the logo, glued it onto a disc, and stuck it on there as if it was my own.
Hmm.
That championship looked pretty cool, in my opinion. And when he retired, I believe he retired in about 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
The reason that he retired was because of his neck. He suffered a neck injury in a pay per view, which left him prone to paralysis and even death if he wasn't careful. Despite all that, he still continued to wrestle, but during that time, he ended up having to go to an MRI through an MRI machine, and it showed that it was very fragile. He needed to retire, but quite frankly, the dude took really good care of himself, and right now he's still wrestling because first things first, he got into a healthier mindset and he really started prioritizing training the muscles around his neck and his shoulders to better protect his collarbone so that it's a lot harder for him to get hurt. He can still get hurt, but because he's prioritizing those muscles, uh it's a lot more likely that he can continue wrestling. I know he says he wants to retire this time for good, but he doesn't want to do it until he gets a big push. And powering through that injury is something that I can relate to because I used to do. Not only did I do parkour, I used to do martial arts. And during one of those matches, I ended up um, dislocating 3 discs out of my spine. Thankfully, I was able to get myself uh, put back together, but most of those discs, even though they are healed, they haven't healed properly. But with enough time and some really good physical therapists and a really long and painful surgery, I was able to finally get everything working to the point where I can still do some other stuff or other my day-to-day tasks.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't even imagine going through any sort of injuries like that. That just sounds brutal, long. Um, like the patience has got to be there for it because I I love getting to see Edge come back eventually. I didn't really think it would ever happen. I thought he was out for good. And when he came back during the 2020 Royal Rumble, uh, funny enough, during that Royal Rumble, when I was watching that, I was sitting here like, this is going to be Drew McIntyre's time for sure, because I'm a huge Drew McIntyre fan. And um, I wouldn't, I want to say he would be in my top three too, but there's one particular wrestler that I think deserved that spot a lot more. Point is, sorry, Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I thought he was going to be the sole winner of that match, and when Edge came out, I was like, oh no, they're gonna throw a curveball at us like that, dude. No way. So I was pretty hyped up about that for sure.
When I watched it, I remember this very well. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was taking public transportation. I was waiting for a train, and I was watching it just to kill some time. It was on my phone. And as
Mhm.
soon as I saw that, immediately I just got up in such shock. I even dropped my phone and cracked my screen, but I didn't really care because I was in so much disbelief that ended up overpowering the whole, oh my god, I cracked my phone, but who cares?
Mhm. Well, my initial thought too, I was like, man, I really wish you and I would have gotten to watch this together because I'm pretty sure I was like in the middle of watching the whole pay-per-view in general with another friend of mine,
But
and
I feel like even either the way, we already knew each other's reactions.
oh yeah, no, I think it was pretty back to back, and I'm pretty sure once they actually got the whole video of it up, or sorry, up. I don't know what I'm saying. Um, I texted you immediately, and you're like, I already know, and I'm like, yes, good.
No, 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 no. You didn't text me. You called me.
Oh, I did call you. Shoot. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense actually.
You called me because I remember this clear as day because my ear was ringing. You literally picked up the phone and yelled, "You say this?" Oh my gosh. Anyway, so moving on to number 3. That's your
mm,
cue.
I yeah, no, I'm gonna just stick with them. So Randy Orton. Randy Orton. He deserves it because of this reason being he has stuck with WWE for 20 years. 20 sole years. Now, I know some people are going to probably think, well, what about The Undertaker? I, I respect The Undertaker a lot too for that reason being. Over 30 years of wrestling in WWE, that's crazy. It's insane. It's crazy for the fact that he is able to been going for that long and still stay healthy somehow. It's not easy to do that. So kudos to the Undertaker, but Randy Orton, I just love because the way that they made his character out to be and how he built himself from the lower ground of evolution to his own soul, his soul like wrestling type of atmosphere. It's a whole different thing. Insane for what he's done throughout the years. I think he's also stayed mostly healthy for the most part. I know right now he's dealing with an injury at the moment and he's trying to get back into it. And it's just taking a little bit longer because unfortunately all them RKOs are messing up his back. This is plain and simple. And it kind of sucks, man. It it hurts. It hurts seeing all of our childhood heroes start getting old and they're getting to that point where it's almost about time, which is why, again, going off of Edge too, it's like, dang, dude, he's gonna retire next year. This sucks. So, regardless, though, love Randy Orton. He's one of the most successful wrestlers of all time, and in my opinion, he's. It's hard to say, but I feel like he was the best out of Evolution, in my opinion. Just my opinion only.
Yeah, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. And I got to agree with you with a few things. For starters, building himself up from a young guy to right now, over 20 years, he's already built quite an impressive legacy for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, he went from, I can't remember what they called him during his evolution days, but after he broke away from that and started out, one of his nicknames was the Viper, and it made a lot of sense because the RKO, which is his finisher, where he just jumps out of nowhere, grabs somebody by the neck, and just brings them down to the ground in a less than a second. It's pretty similar to how a Viper literally just stalks his prey and in not even a fraction of a second just goes after it.
Exactly.
And now, with his age, he's kind of outgrown the whole Viper thing. And his current, I believe this is his current one, is the Apex Predator, which makes sense too, because, well, the dude himself, just because he's getting old doesn't mean that you should take him lightly. The dude's still got some, he's still got some power left.
Yeah, he's got some power. He's got the heart for it. It's a shame that he's still hurt at the moment because I want to see him feud against Roman Reigns, but hopefully maybe. But we'll see. I don't even know where that whole bloodline storyline is going with at this point. I don't know when it's gonna end, but here for the long road.
People have been begging for it to end because even though we do like long storylines or liked long storylines, it's gotten to a point where this is way too long, even for the longest storylines in that were ever written.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I think it's about time to be honest, but we'll see what happens. Also, real quick shout out before you give off your last wrestler. Real quick shout out. The World Heavyweight Championship is finally returned. Let's go. It's been too long.
Oh,
Now,
you saw that?
yeah, it looks clean. I like the design too. It looks really clean. I like the fact that they kind of amped it up a little bit, made something different. But yeah, I like it a lot. Now, I will admit though, it brings me to question if like they're going to retire the universal title at some point or if they're going to keep all three championships. Now, I want to say they should just keep all three. They should just keep the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship in one side of each brand, and then the Universal title can be defended in both brands. I think that's what they should do, personally.
I was actually going to say the same thing because in the name Universal, it makes sense because those are company titles. But here's the thing, and even though I do agree with you with that, I don't feel like that's the right move, and I'm gonna explain why. First things first, the Universal title was. I personally think it was a very bad idea to even introduce it
Oh yeah.
because when you think about it, there were always just two championships. There was the company championship, and then there was the world championship. The company championship and the world championships, even though they bounced around from different branches, um, at the very least, you knew exactly what the value was for both of those championships. Even though the WWE title was the one with the company and the faces, the
Yeah.
World Heavyweight Championship always had the guts and the glory because, well, it's been around for years.
True.
But with the way wrestling is, specifically the company now, I think it would be a good idea to do what you just mentioned. Keep the Universal in one branch. Keep no, I mean not the Universal. The the World Heavyweight Championship in one branch, and having the World Heavyweight Championship be in another, with the Universal being able to be defended in both branches.
Hmm. Yeah, even my friend David was kind of saying the same thing. I was like, okay, yeah, I could see that. I could actually see that personally. Um, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what they decide to do. I know, obviously, with the like we said, the bloodline scenario, the Universal title is here to stay for now. So I'm not really super opposed to it. Do I think that whole situation needs to die out finally? Yes. I think there comes a point where it's like, okay, let's go. Come on. It's about time now. Let's get some new scenarios going. But yeah,
All
pretty much it.
right.
But
Now
yeah,
going on to my last wrestler on the list, and also going back to a point that I made earlier as to one of the biggest reasons why I have never once touched any substances. I never drank, never smoked. I never done any drugs, including marijuana. And the correct term for that is I'm straight edge. And the last person on the list is also straight edge, and that is Phil Brooks, or more
I knew
commonly
it.
known as CM Punk.
CM Punk. Oh, okay, real quick. I'll
What's up?
shut up after this. I promise.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
No.
What's up?
Did you hear that? I guess CM Punk was backstage at Raw this last Monday.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know like what to think. So I guess the rumors are is that he was just trying to make amends with certain people, and he was told to leave, unfortunately, by Vince, of course. But yeah, he basically just made amends to a bunch of people and just said, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And that was it. And then he went on his way.
Well, if that rumor is true, at the very least, it's a good thing that he is making amends with some people, because
Yeah,
at the very least, it'll not only, well, help help him out in getting a fresh start, but it will also, if there is an opportunity, to branch out and work with another one of those wrestlers that he made amends with, it might end up resulting in smooth sailing.
true,
And
true.
going back to CM Punk, as I mentioned, he is straight edge. And here's the thing. Uh Growing up, uh a lot of people were really putting that, or were trying to put that kind of pressure on me, cuz, well, obviously it's peer pressure. People are going to want to start uh experimenting,
Yeah,
which is a natural part about growing up, but usually whenever I would hang around with those people that were quote unquote experimenting or trying stuff out, they were never the same as to when they were sober. I couldn't have any rightful conversations meaningful conversations is what I meant to say. I couldn't even look them in the eyes because they've always just uh went about and did their own thing. I kept refusing, kept refusing, kept refusing. And well, this is something that personal that uh happened to me when I was still a child. I had an aunt who is no longer with us, who essentially was trying to get me to start or to try out alcohol, and I just kept refusing. I kept refusing. Uh she kept going on about how this is going to be something that you're going to have to learn with with growing up, because you can't stay a child forever. You might as well try it. Try it. And I got so annoyed to the point where I took the can and I crushed it to shoot all of the liquor all over her face. And I got into a lot of trouble for that, but I didn't really care because I would rather get into trouble than to uh lose my pride as to where I stand. And ever since then, she was never really that good of a person to me. Uh Always abusive, always uh it's bringing back a lot of memories. So again, she's no longer with us because that addiction that she had with alcohol is ultimately what ended up leading her to her uh demise. And the only thing that I feel about that is just sad, because if she didn't go down that route, she would have had a better life. And that's just the tip of the iceberg as to other events that I was around. I didn't understand the whole straight edge thing until I first went to my first uh, warp tour. It, I knew about the term, but I didn't know that there was a subculture until somebody, well, offered me uh, a drink. And when I refused, given I did refuse politely, I thought that I was gonna have to like try to get all defensive and stuff, but nah, the person just went, "Oh, are you living a straight edge lifestyle?" And I said,
Mhm.
"Yes, I am. I don't partake in that stuff, but I do enjoy the music that is being played." And at that point, we just hit it off. We spent the entire day just walking around the festival. It was a lot
Nice,
of fun.
nice.
It was so much fun. And as soon as I learned that there was this actual subculture in which the music was great, everybody was sober, nobody was trying to peer pressure you and stuff, I felt like I
Yeah.
had a really good place to belong. And even when CM Punk did his whole villainous straight edge society, okay, first things first, I gotta admit, I was really mad when, well, this happened years ago. CM Punk ended Jeff Hardy's career, or better yet, his time in WWE. But at the same time, I didn't know that everything was all scripted and that he was gonna have to leave regardless. But I couldn't really stay too mad because what he was saying, even though he was a villain, uh, really did resonate with me, because I've never once touched any of those things, and I've still to this day haven't. I keep repeating that a lot, but if there's anybody out there that has never done that and just really wants to uh, find people that gather around or don't partake in that in general, just you really should think about the straight edge community. Uh, Everybody is very, well, majority of people are very loving and caring, and most of the time, uh, the hangouts are literally just sitting back, listening to the music, just, well, no pun intended, vibing.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
actually,
I
wait, hold up. What were we gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I do agree with all that. And and this doesn't go towards like anybody as far as just if you're let's just say, for example, like you do drink, you smoke weed, that sort of thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing at all. It's more just, if you're gonna do it, just be
Be
positive about it.
responsible.
Try be responsible. Yeah. Just be smart. Don't be stupid about it, because otherwise, yeah, it's never gonna be a good thing. And yeah, there's just no point sometimes, but at the same time, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you
So
gotta do what you gotta do. Actually, this reminds me of a story that I'm gonna talk about real quick. It's not a bad story. It's actually one of the funniest stories that I could think of sharing right now. Because so this would happen around the time that I turned 18.
mhm.
I was hanging out in a different group uh, outside of outside of us, our circle. So it was
Okay.
myself. It was I was hanging out with somebody else and a group of other people. The other person that I was hanging out with, I'm gonna think of a fake name for this person. Uh, Craig. I'm gonna call him Craig. Uh,
Okay.
so I was hanging out with Craig, who was 21, but he himself was going through like substance abuse problems, which to this day blows my mind. That with everything that he went through, thankfully, right now he's doing okay. He's in a really good place. He's actually about to settle down with with his wife.
Nice.
Really
Okay.
glad to see that he turned his life around. So he was 21 at the time. I was 18, and we were with a big group of people. We dropped them off over at uh, I can't remember if it was a bar or a club. I obviously couldn't enter because I wasn't 21 at the time, and since he was trying to get himself cleared out, get himself clean, we thought, well, what could we do? So after we dropped off the other group, we decided to just go. We swung by to a GameStop. We saw a Xbox 360 that was on sale, and we
Mhm.
saw Guilty Gear, which was blew my mind because I didn't know that Guilty Gear, I think it was XR2, was still in stock at this GameStop. So we just went, you know what? We'll split it. We'll split it evenly since you still don't have a console. I'll help you pay off a portion of this under the condition that you let me play this video game whenever I want, and I can borrow it as long as I want. And he said, "Yeah, it's fine." So
Hmm.
we get the stuff. We go. We go back to his place, I believe. We ordered some pizza and some stuff, and we were just mad gaming and mad gaming.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that makes it funny. So, what was supposed to happen was whenever whenever the other people were supposed to finish up or felt like they had a good time but were wanting to leave, they were supposed to call one of us to go pick them up.
Uh-huh.
But the phone never rang. We never even got a text message. I think we
Oh,
were
weird.
gaming for like 2 hours straight, and we were like, don't you think it's about time that they messaged us or something?" And I was thinking
Right.
maybe their phones died. And
Hmm.
then as soon as I said that, one of them ends up walking into the house. He kicks the door down. I don't know why he did that or how he did it, for starters.
Mm.
And he says, as loud as he could, I think he shouted this, I think, word for word. I'm not. What he said was, bunnies be hopping and bitches be popping on this dick. And he was doing the DX thing. You know, the whole like
Yeah.
jumping while he was lying on the floor. And we just, as soon as we saw that, we could not stop laughing. We were
Jesus.
laughing straight. We were laughing for a good 5 minutes straight, and we realized, wait, how the hell did you get here? Uh, this,
The
this,
sudden realization of like, wait, hang on a minute.
how did they get here? This poor cab driver, dude. So I guess one of them, they got kicked out of the place, and one of the bouncers ended up calling them a cab to take them wherever the hell they wanted. They wanted to. The cab driver
Oh.
just looked at an address.
Yeah.
At an address of an ID, since he was rooming with somebody at the time, and just dropped them off.
Mm.
Dude, the poor cab driver. I mean, the dude looked like he had a rough ride.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we paid him so much money too, just to try to ease the wound a little. But holy crap,
Yeah.
that
Feel
memory
like
lives
I
rent.
apologize for this shit.
That memory lives rent free in my head. That was really funny.
Yeah, I feel that. I probably would have not stopped laughing for a while. I was like, oh god, I can't do it.
Oh my god. I
Too
guess
good.
that explains why they never texted, because they were literally too drunk to text.
True. Good times.
Oh my god. Oh man. That was a good time. I don't think
Mm.
have you ever had an incident like that? One that makes you laugh?
All right, let me think here. So let's see. Oh god. Well, all right. So there was a situation where back then when I used to smoke weed more on like a daily basis, this was like I want to say this was like 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. But and you'll remember this for sure because we hung out. So it was you, me, and like I want to say 3 or 4 other friends of ours.
I
We were
don't
having a
think
big,
I think I know what you're talking about, but I remember being outside most of that day.
yeah. We were hanging out in your place for like a couple hours, and then eventually, once we were taken off, I remember getting in my car and being absolutely terrified to drive because I was so high off my mind that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, uh, long story short, don't ever try to drive when you're high or drunk as fuck. Obviously, it's
Wait a
just a
minute.
stupid.
Wait. Did it I think, if memory serves me right, you were tripping out so hard that you butt dialed me on accident. And
Yeah,
didn't I literally drive my ass over there to go get you?
yeah, yeah, pretty much. It got to a point where I think I needed to hang out for a little bit longer for the high to go away, and then eventually I was like, okay, all right, I think I'm okay. But yeah, it wasn't a very good time, and I was just like, yeah, never doing this again.
No,
I
it
still,
wasn't. I
still,
literally needed. You still
I'm
haven't paid me
sorry.
back for the money for the freaking bus.
Really?
Or maybe you did. I can't remember. But I knew that because I was the one that um you called me and I drove you a little bit until you sobered up. I had to take a bus all the way back to where my car was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's right. No, I think, I don't know. I'm really trying to remember if I actually. Oh, I apologize for the bass. I don't know if you guys could hear that. That was really loud. Um, yeah, I can't remember. I really can't remember if I did pay you back or not, but either way, though. And I know
I
that
mean,
that was
either
like
way,
a
it's
time too where we just had a disagreement and we had to stop talking to each other for a bit, and
yeah,
eventually
that's
we
true.
got back. But yeah, either
Yeah,
way,
that's true. Bygones being bygones. If anything, I think the bus fare didn't really go up that much. You just owe me a soda if that's the case.
yeah, true. That's funny though. But yeah, no, don't ever do it, guys. It's not. It's just not worth it. On a real note, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth your time. And if you really feel like you can't just get home, just hang out for a little bit longer.
Or
Even
call
if your
somebody
friend,
that doesn't partake. That way, that sober
exactly,
person can actually go and give you a ride.
yeah, for real. So either way, but that's that. How much time do we got?
We got about an extra 5 minutes. Do you want to just end this here?
Yeah.
Might as well. Might
What
as
you
well.
gotta wait.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
You got off all three of your wrestlers, right?
Yeah, and you got all three of yours too.
Okay. All
Let's
right. Cool.
let's call it a day.
All right. Sweet.
All right. Thank you guys
Um.
so much for listening. Oh wait, you were gonna say something?
No, you're good. That was it. That was it.
Okay. Thanks again. Be sure to follow us on social media. Everything for me is at it's Miguel underscore Perez. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, which are listed and linked down in the description box below.
Bada bang, bada boom. And next episode we got Yu-Gi-Oh talk. We're gonna go right on into that and
Yu-Gi-Oh!
go from there. We'll be talking mainly really about anything, but mainly we'll be talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh shows and just us getting into the card game, that sort of thing. Which also we need to get back to doing because we still haven't done that in a while. Even my brother was like, "Hey, you want to play some cards tonight, maybe?" I was like, "Yeah," but I also am just really tired. So, yeah, we got to get back into it. But that will be for next episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Later.